expecting you as a family to stop all the faking and really get it together and really start being accountable to each other and step up and do what we need to do. Because I'm telling you, that what we call that new chief that just came in, they can't do nothing for us. We got to do it for ourselves.
What's your name?
My name is Douglas Porter.
All right, let's make sure we can get you.
So anyway, nothing me rambling. I just wanted to just put that into the equation. Thank you, sister, for putting that post-traumatic stress and the trauma and all that stuff. It's real talk. Sunday.
All right, now, here's just for the order of services. We have 5 minutes left. So we have Dan, Carlos, Tammy, and Sister Scott. So that's the order. Dan, Carlos, Tammy. Keenan will be the last speaker of the night.
I appreciate all that you had to say. That was very encouraging because as a younger man, I'm in my early 30s, there were 2 things I wanted to say, and you touched on a large part of it. One, as Skyscraper Ministries, what I'm asking is, if it's possible to formulate or create a system where schools used to have it where there used to be technical schools. They used to give you a trade and give you tools to make it outside of high school if you weren't able to go to college.
ROP.
Nowadays, those things are gone. And so what I'm asking is, for professionals from many different backgrounds or fields, can you do an internship through your job, or can you bring these youth with you to help them understand all that you do? They can learn firsthand from you, being a member of the church as well as being an educated person in your profession, that you find an avenue to help them, not after they graduate, but way before that. Like you're saying, junior high, high school, early high school, so that they'll already have these mindsets to want to do these things before they graduate. They'll have a plan before they get out of high school. But the other factor is I've done security on and off for the last 2 years. For the last 3 or 4, I've done armed security. And I've worked in the hardest places. I've worked in right here at Acorn. I've worked in Hunter's Point and worked in Fillmore and places that are less desirable to be. And I talk to the people that live in those communities. And they look at me most of the time with a stern eye because they're like, why are you here? You sold out. I said, no, I made my decision. I made my choice. This is the way I live. I choose to live and make an honest living, and I choose to help the community instead of destroy the community. I said, now, you hate me because I'm the opposite of what you said. But on the other hand, I'm a light to some people who don't want to be like me. And I will stand and fight for what's good. Now, the other thing that I see that people, they have this mentality where they want to make easy money or fast money, or they feel that it's convenient because everybody else is doing it. They want to feel comfortable. But being out on the corner, selling your soul for a little bit of cash and getting killed by your best friend is not living. So as a church, we have many avenues here, and I pray that people will respond in time, give the church a chance to show that we're really genuine. We're not here just to dump a bunch of services, or that we're just here to show our faith, but we really here because we want to help change the community. I know who's beefing with you. I know a lot of the things that are going around here because I work around here. I lived in Acorn many years ago, and I've seen when security people walk around with shotguns and you be afraid to walk outside. But the thing is, times are changing, and instead of complaining, we should help. And I'm not talking about just with words. I mean, physically get out there and help. A lot of people I've arrested over time, now they come back to me and they thank me. Because instead of letting them shoot somebody, I stopped them, I hunted them down and arrested them, and now they thank me. Because now their lives are a little bit different. Yeah, they had to go to jail and do whatever they had to do as a consequence, but they're now changing for the better. And so my thing is, my most important part that I want to address is, can we find a way for these youth to learn a real trade, something of value that will get them active. They will have something more than just going to school. It will give them time to to bond with that person who's trying to teach them their profession, and then give them good examples other than just hanging out.
I can respond to that. It's, I mean, the program pretty much exists, you know, at one point. I think some of the services have been cut. It's not as vibrant as it was. But most high schools, and Aaron will correct me if they weren't at Oakland High, but there is a program called ROP, Regional Occupation Program. So this area oftentimes is out at Chabot, and I'm not sure if there's any college within Peralta that also searches ROP. They have the auto mechanics, the health and medicine, floral design, car painting, stuff like that. So students who are desirous of that, you have to be a junior or senior. So when they select that, once they select that, they go half the day at their high school campus. You guys have ROP opportunities at Oakland High? They go half the day to their ROP program, and the second half of the day is at the high school. But that's where they get that particular trade skill. But again, it only starts at the 11th grade. So a lot of schools now also, just like even in San Lorenzo Unified, all of our high schools now are centered around an academy. So, and every student has to be in one. So we have a law academy. There's a health and medicine academy. There's a data academy. So it's about technology, and they make movies and they make music. And so all of those students from the very beginning, from 9th grade on, they're learning a specific skill or specific talent while they're also working towards completing all their requirements for college, and then they may also have the option of going into ROP. So there are different things out there, but some schools have the program, some schools don't, because there has been funding that has been cut. So it really kind of depends on where you are, and I think we got a response to that too.
Also, ROP is technically free for anyone who's 16 and over. So if you're in high school, there are school requirements and there's programmatic kind of stipulations, but they have a GED program for if you dropped out, but you don't necessarily have to do the GED program to do the other stuff. So it's literally free training for the most part for any young person 16 or above, or any adult, but 16 and above.
Do you know location aside from Chabot?
I've looked online, but I don't have them off the top of my head, I don't know, but pretty much all counties have their different programs. There's college, there's all types of stuff that is actually only things that would be beneficial today. So.
Okay, Carlos Jackson, going once, going twice.